Buddy.
Welcome to the world we live in. Back and forth through the kitchen. Remembering the night.
Welcome to the Neutral Zone, Season 1, Episode 10. We've hit double digits, Stomps. It's a big deal.
Seems like it was only yesterday we had the pilot program. I don't know if many people have seen it. It's a classic, though. We should put it out there.
That's under lock and key right now. That's classified information.
Oh, my goodness.
So for those of you on Facebook, we're going live this evening. So if you get a chance, please join us. Please share the video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be checking in onto the comment section. So if you have anything to bring up or share, let us know. We have an exciting show for you today. We had done the last show, I think it was last Thursday. We talked about tournament in Woodridge, the second Sunday. So today we're going to focus exclusively, since we haven't had a Woodridge game in a while, what we're going to do today is we're going to focus exclusively on Woodridge from last Sunday, possible injury reports. We're going to talk about a little bit of Pittsburgh. And then last night we had a nice duel. I'm sure I wasn't there, but in Palatine. And then we'll obviously, as usual, we'll have some other things to talk about. So feel free, Stomps, if I missed anything to add. But Stomps, to be honest with you, this is Neutral Zone episode 10 of season 1, but it's really the Stomps show today because you're the one with all the intellectual capital here. And you're going to be the one that's kind of leading us through all these big updates. I've been on a bit of a hiatus lately, just sort of nursing a couple of things and want to get back into full shape. But that's pretty well it. There's no secrets here from my side. So for all the millions and millions of my fans asking where I've been, just I'll be back. All right, I'll be back.
Stop asking me. Everybody, please stop asking me.
All right, Stomps, it's all yours. Take it away, my friend.
Well, where do you want to start?
I think we should start. Yeah, go ahead.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, let's start with Pittsburgh.
I don't know a lot. I have an insider couple insiders that fed me some high-level updates of the tournament, Team Chicago out there. So last weekend, they had the same kind of weather we had over the weekend, so it was great conditions. Day one, they went 1-0-2, so a win and 2 ties. It allowed them to finish first in their division. Apparently, a lot of penalties, from what I was told.
Against us?
Yeah, one of our guys got thrown out of one of the games. And according to my insider, the penalties were kind of dumb penalties, but it's hockey, right? So they moved on to, Sunday's your playoffs or whatever you want to call it. I know there was a shootout win in the mix with, I believe, Billy Jacques stopping all 3 of the opponent's shots. I kind of missed the information. At the end of the day, they ended up losing in the semifinals, which there's no shame in that. I mean, that means you were in the Final Four of the Pittsburgh tournament. A lot of teams, a lot of high-quality teams. So I'd say it was a good showing. I think they played 6 games between the 2 days, so that's a lot of hockey. And they had a good time. Not sure what they did socially. Can't go to many places at this point, but that's what I know.
Right. Well, Pennsylvania has been in the news a lot lately, so it's nice that we're talking about something other than why it's been in the news. I'm really glad that, you know what? Congratulations to these guys. I mean, listen, you got to give these guys a lot of credit, you know, packing their bags, leaving their family, getting in a car or a plane during a pandemic to go out there and play some hockey. So good on them. I'm assuming my conversations with Billy Jacques indicated to most of the time they were pretty safe and you know, practicing good social distancing. So, I mean, it's good to that. Good on them. What do you think, Stomps?
Yeah, I mean, and congrats to Pittsburgh for even holding a tournament, right? In these conditions. And I mean, let's be honest, none of us wants to get right up in each other's faces anyway. I don't want to be that close to anybody, even if there was 0 viruses in the world. So it shouldn't be that hard to distance a little bit from the guys, you know. So no, but yeah, they should be commended for their effort
Yeah,
and their finish, and job well done.
I'd like to get Frank on here and ask him, was this one of the youngest teams in terms of average age? Because when I was talking to, I was talking to you earlier, or it was Billy Jacques, and somebody was telling me that they had some of the South Siders there, and you
They
know,
do.
obviously with Alex and Nevin and those guys, they're younger, and then you know, I would expect to see continued success for them and get out of that semifinal game next time. I mean, we have so much talent in Chicago. We should be achieving more, and I look forward to seeing big success from us in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. And well, we've talked about. Remember, we did the show about with the youth.
Yeah.
So yeah, future's bright, right?
Did you ever get any live updates from Julian Barrera?
No, I did not. I didn't.
No. So did he commit and fall through, or
No, no, no,
okay, okay.
no.
Because you know we take this media stuff pretty seriously. You know, like if we have an insider, that's an insider. We're gonna look to them for. I got some phone calls after the tournament, and I heard some really good things, and I was really pleased with that. So good. Thanks for that update. What else do you got? What else do you got for our viewers?
Well, we got last Sunday at Woodridge. The, you want to say something? You look like you want to say something.
Nope.
So with the tournament going on in Pittsburgh, that provided a 1-week break from the Woodridge tournament. So we had regular Woodridge play, if you will, last Sunday with a couple of games. I got to play in both of them, so thank you, Dre, for making that happen.
Are you sore?
No, I mean it was fine. I mean it was great. It was great weather. I really wanted to play both games. On the winning side, both games, which was nice.
Congrats.
Just I'd like to spotlight a few people.
Okay, let's hear
And if anybody wants to be spotlighted on this show, my advice is do something worthy of being spotlit, or do something crazy or something that we'll talk about. But
Are you getting a lot of requests?
yeah, here and there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we try to spread the love. So let's talk about first the handsome young Italian Anthony Martino. Everything that touched the kid's stick was going in the net on Sunday. So, and I lost track quite honestly. He had close between the two games. He had close to a 10-goal day.
Wow.
I mean, he was lighting it up. So yeah, great job on his part. Eileen Meslar. She had at least 5 between the two games.
Wow.
Including a couple of real nice goals. So she never fails to impress me, right?
I'm especially happy that you shared that information because just understanding her competitive nature, I don't think she probably came out of that tournament feeling exceptionally good about their outcome. So she probably felt good about coming back to Woodridge and having two back-to-back good performances.
Yeah, real good, real good. And then our friend Sam Ansari, I got to tell you something. We know he could shoot it, right?
Yeah.
He scored one goal in the second game. I was on the bench for it, but I had a great angle. He kind of did a little stick handling. It was on our side of the center line, and he had a defender in front of him, but it was an absolute bomb that had all kinds of movement and beat Rocco. It was just such a nice goal. I mean, it was one of those where, you just go, woo.
Yeah.
And it gave us a cushion, and that was a big goal for us to win that game. And then how about the great Frank DeMarinis? He was feeling a little badly about himself in the first game. It was kind of a hangover from the tournament. He was, of course, on my team, and we got eliminated, and he was feeling like the ball wasn't going in the net for him, and he was having bad luck around the net. And I said, you just got to keep shooting. Before you knew it, in that first game, he scored 4 goals. So it was good. He was rewarded for his efforts.
He's a tough guy to cover. Hey, you just mentioned, I don't know if you have more guys to mention or more people to mention, but you basically just mentioned 2 guys that had big games and big performances from the Wrecking Balls. That's a big deal. That could be a sign of things to come.
Well, speaking of which, now, I don't know if you have the ability on the fly, but, at the urging of Ron Coletta Sr., he was the one that pointed out to me, because we were just sitting around after the games were over, and he said, hey, check it out. These guys are practicing out here. So, I took some footage of the Wrecking Balls getting ready for the playoffs in the tournament on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on for us. You keep going. You keep talking. I'm getting that. I think that's a pretty cool thing that you have pulled together.
Well, it's kind of impressive given we had just played 2. Most of the individuals that were there, maybe not everyone, had played the 2 games, and to just keep practicing. I give credit where credit is due. So I took a little bit of footage of what was going on.
Let's see what we got here. Hang on a second.
This is probably why you always say we need a multimedia guy.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Ah, we might be in luck here. Okay. So this is the Wrecking Balls. Here we go.
What we're looking at here are the Wrecking Balls practicing after Sunday's scrimmage games at Woodridge. So we know these guys are serious about next Sunday playoffs in the tournament. So there you go. Wrecking Balls, strategizing, a little practice. Here we go. It's good to see this. How about that?
Wow.
Yep.
That is pretty big.
I like that. So we'll see if that extra work pays off on Sunday, right? Oh, we also have to congratulate Timmy Stalin with the birth of his boy. What's the boy's name? Is it I saw the pictures. The pictures were great. I was trying to comment on them, but the Hockey Monsters app is acting up on me. It won't let me post comments.
Luka Michael Stalin.
Beautiful. Congrats to Timmy.
Congrats,
As
Tim.
a young hockey player in his family. And I know he's got other kids, but maybe someday we'll see the youngster out there on the floor. You never know, right?
Born November 10th, 2020. Right in the
Yep.
right in the middle of the pandemic.
Kid will have a story to tell when he gets older.
For sure. For sure.
So yeah. So that was Sunday at Woodridge.
And you said the weather cooperated.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah. You checked the weather for this Sunday?
Let's see where it's at right now. Last I'd seen it was, let's see here. Because as you know, the weather tends to change as you go along here. Let's see what we've got for Sunday. Uh-oh. Occasional rain in the morning. Otherwise mostly cloudy and windy, 45. The key's going to be rain. It says 54% chance.
That's a pretty high probability. I'm sure Eric's trying to really get the tournament done, though. I can imagine he wants to push this through.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But let's see what happens, right? In this crazy year that we've had. Shall we move on to last night in Palatine?
Yeah, it's your world.
So, first of all, we had the triumphant return of Joe Gleason. And we talked about this on the last show, right? What he was dealing with.
Yep, we were able to share that. I got his permission. So he's back from COVID, and you said he looked good. It sounds like he looked like he hasn't missed a step.
Yeah, I mean, he might be in his dungeon right now working on his slap shot because I think his radar may have been off a little bit last night. But here's the big Gleason story of last night. We had a nice one-timer goal by Patty and the game-winning goal scored by Brendan Gleason.
Wow.
Yeah. How about that?
That's great. That's terrific.
Yeah, so they beat us 8-6. It was a weird game. The first half was not much offense at all. Then it opened up the second half, and who really killed us was besides the Gleasons. They had a line of Eric. I don't know Eric's last name. I like to tag people with nicknames. I'd like to call him Eric the Red. Young guy, good player. You know who he is.
Yeah, I know who he is. He looks like a bigger version of Josh, right?
Yeah, so it was Eric, Josh, and Brett on a line, and they killed us. They were putting it in the net. I know Eric had a couple of nice goals. One that I still to this moment I don't believe went in, but Brett claims he was right behind there and saw it hit the net. I thought it went into the pads of Joe and just dropped to his feet. So I don't know. Maybe I had a weird angle of it, but they hurt us. So they played really well. We had Sam Ansari was there, so we don't see him at Palatine too often, so it was good to see him.
How was he in the bigger rink?
He was fine. He scored a goal.
Okay. Good for him.
And then Matt from the Bearcats, defenseman. I don't know his last name. He was coming off knee surgery, but he looked good. He played quite well.
He's a steady defenseman. He's a good puck moving defenseman. I mean,
Yeah, so he's got his head up, looking to move the ball. And that was it. It was again 2 goalies going the distance: Coletta Joe and Bobby D. And then afterwards, we gathered outside like we tend to do and had a couple of cocktails. And the big controversy was our friend Brian Ganutek drinking white Zinfandel, which I don't know what to say about that. Hockey's about, post game, it's about having a beer with your friends. And he's got a cup there. Because I questioned him. I go, what are you holding the cup for? It's white Zin. It's white Zin. Oh man. So he took a little bit of ribbing for that.
Was Adesh there?
He was. Yeah, he was. Adesh was fine. I mean, I didn't mention him because he didn't dominate the game like he tends to, but I think he probably scored a couple. Maybe we just take him for granted now. But he says his dad is doing well. He's ditched the walker to get around, so he's rehabbing just fine. And I'm just trying to think anybody else.
Bruner?
He was there, yeah. He switched teams, I think, twice. He started with our team, went to the other team, and switched back, I think. I can't remember, but because we lost a couple of guys early, and just trying to keep the balance of both teams. But yeah, but hopefully we can keep playing. I mean,
Well, how about the goaltending? How was the goaltending?
Goaltending was good. I mean, it was an 8-6 game. You're playing for what, about an hour and a half, so it wasn't out of hand. We had trouble scoring on Bobby D for quite a while, and then, like I said, the second half, things opened up. But I'm just hopeful we can keep playing. It seems like I feel like us individuals living in the state of Illinois, we're getting put into a timeout. Like young children, because of these cases of COVID increasing. I don't know if are we back into a complete lockdown, or because I've heard suggestions just stay at home. You could go.
I think there's a sorry to cut you off. I think there's a recommendation at this point, but Chicago, the mayor just issued a lockdown stay-at-home order effective Monday. So you're only allowed to travel or go outside your home for essential services. So that's breaking news. I don't know about the rest of the state. So far, we should be okay to go outside of the city of Chicago.
I don't know. I have to admit, I mean, it's been a little bit disconcerting of late. I seem to know a lot more people that have had recent cases of this virus. People I work with, people in our circle. But it was bound to happen.
Right. Look, what I'll tell you, and I know we're not a political show, so we won't talk politics, but I will tell you, and I told you this on the phone yesterday, there's 4 things that I think if we practice, should avoid a shutdown. Because I think the economy can keep moving as long as we do these 4 things. And I'm going to tell you, number 1 is wear a mask when you're in a public setting. Number 2, wear your mask properly so that it covers your nose. Number 3 is social distance when you can. And number 4, take vitamin D.
So let's talk about vitamin D. Does it have to be D3? Is that, or are there different forms of
I
vitamin
mean,
D?
D3 seems to be the one. Like I take vitamin K2 with D. I think I don't take D3. I think I take vitamin K2 with D, and I take 5,000 international units per day. And I think you do as well, right?
Yeah, I do. And I have for years. So all these studies are saying that it really helps your immune system to, doesn't mean you're not going to get this virus, but you'll do better,
Right.
perhaps.
I think you nailed it. I think you hit it on the head. It's like that whole study that came out a few weeks ago about people with blood type O. I don't know if you saw that, but they said that if you have a blood type O, you tend to have a better chance of not getting the virus or something like that. And I think, again, we're not a medical show here, we're just a hockey show. But I think they did caveat and say that doesn't mean don't go out just because you're blood type O, start exposing yourself. The same thing applies to vitamin D. What they found is they did studies on patients that were hospitalized and ones that were on ventilators, and they found that the patients that did the worst were the ones with low vitamin D levels in their blood. So why not, right? And vitamin D is also good for cognitive function too. So I mean, you can't lose. To your point, I mean, just take it proactively and protect yourself. I think those four things. Because listen, I'll be honest with you, I don't want a government shutdown. I really don't. I don't think it's good to the businesses. I don't think it's good for mental health. I don't think it's good for the schools, for education. It's just if we can just treat this like we're making a sacrifice. And I thought yesterday was perfect because yesterday was Patriots Day, right? And
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. In Canada, it's Remembrance Day. And I think if you really, we really want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Patriotic. I think it would be really nice to do things to keep our economy going because we need to keep going, man. We need to keep going.
So let me ask you this question. So you just gave the breaking news about Chicago.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit of a hockey tie-in. So one of my former teammates from the Lugags, Joe Lamonto, he sponsors every year a blood drive where, he gets guys to come in and donate, give some blood, which is needed, right? Especially now with what's going on. So Sunday we're scheduled to go, it's at a church in the city of Chicago. So would the mayor of Chicago frown on me going into the city to donate blood?
Did you say it's this Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to beat out the lockdown order. It's
Oh,
effective
you said it's Monday, right?
It's effective Monday. Usually, in Peel region, which is a region like a county, like how we compare counties in Ontario, Peel region is like it's a region in Ontario. It's just maybe 15, 20 miles west of Toronto. They basically have put in some new rules that started on Monday because they usually start these things on the Monday and they reassess them every 2 weeks where two families can't join. So like you and Susan couldn't come and visit us in our home. The only way you could do that is if you were one person and you didn't want to be alone, you could go join another family. So they have these real strict lockdown rules over there. So I think they do typically start on a Monday. I don't know if it's like that over here in terms of reassessing, but they're going to reassess it after 14 days. Because they got like 1,500 cases today over there. That's a lot for them.
And you were talking about blood type. So here's a funny thing. Honestly, I don't know what my blood type is. I just don't, right? So I guess I'll find out when I donate blood Sunday.
Right, you should be able to find that out. But speaking of blood here, one thing I would like to say to the viewers who are currently tuned into our double-digit episode 10 of the Neutral Zone in season 1, I would like to say you had mentioned something interesting. you're starting to hear about more and more people, obviously with the spike that we're having, more and more people that having COVID. I would say I would encourage those people who, get over the COVID to go out and get their antibodies test, which I think you did. And if you actually do, in fact, have the antibodies, according to some of these specialists that work in plasma, you can save up to 9 lives. And I'm not just saying that because it's a cat. I mean, I'm just serious. You could save up to 9 lives.
Right, yeah.
So I think that's amazing. I think that is amazing. Well,
We also have to have a little shout out to our friend Dave Schmiel, who just reported his MRI revealed a meniscus injury. So he's going to be going into a rehab situation, I believe now, instead of, because you can rehab a meniscus. It's not necessarily but it is a torn meniscus that he has. So best wishes to him. I mean, I don't know when he'll be able to strap the pads on again, but.
Well, meniscus, you know who he should talk to. He should talk to Billy Jacques. He had a meniscectomy, I think, 1.5 to 2 years ago, and he came back pretty quick. And he's looked pretty good lately. So I'm sure he could get some pointers, and they could, as both of them playing the same position, that would be something that they could relate to. We have a couple of people that are making some comments. Dave Schmiel's on the live video right now. He was just complimenting you about how handsome you look. And then Steve Givens likes my professional mic setup. So that's nice of you, Steve. I really hope we can get him on the show one day. Steve is a great guy. Such a careful guy when it comes to like how he's managed himself during this pandemic. I haven't seen him in any hockey games. And he's an inspiration to all of us, just the way he plays and his commitment to physical fitness.
Steve needs to do his own show about rock and roll or just music in general. He loves his music, loves live events. So this whole thing has been kind of cramping his style in 2020. But he's hanging in there. And you're right. I mean, he's the man. I hope to see him soon.
I do as well. Anybody else that we haven't been really given love to out there in the world of ball hockey? I mean, I know Dante's watching. There's a couple of other people watching, but anyone else? Like, I did want to share one picture. I'll do it on our next show. Gerard and I took a really cool picture together a few weeks ago in Woodridge. And I really got it. Sorry, go ahead.
Was he wearing his Davy Crockett hat?
Yeah, he was. And I thought it was really cool. I thought it was amazing. I'm going to try to find that while.
Hey, just to show you what a small world it is, I just found out today that one of my clients is John Trapani's niece.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's the weirdest thing. It escaped me in all this time, but then I was on a webinar today and I saw her name as one of the attendees.
Right.
And then I looked at the last name and I said, Trapani. I said, could this be? So I shot John a message and said, hey, by any chance, is this somebody related to you? Yeah, and sure enough, she is. So there you go.
That's amazing. What a small world, man, I tell you.
Yep. Sure is.
No, it's been good to have John Trapani being like a regular. Did he play 2 games on Sunday?
Yes. Yes, he did.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that he's, playing 2 games and he's out there and he's committed. We've gotten. I think this Woodridge tournament is really going to help the sport. It's going to help the sport a lot. Hey, I got a special shout out to one of the guys on my team here. This is Josh. He plays for the 9-inch males. And can you see? Did you see the picture?
Yeah.
There's a better picture of Josh. I think this guy's going to really. He's a good player now, but what I like about him is he's a very versatile player. He's offensively minded, but he has a really good understanding of the importance of playing a two-way game. And I think that's a rare thing with some of these younger guys. So good on him. Did you know that he's up in Mundelein? He lives all the way up by me, but even more northwest of me. And him and Frank D, they actually play ball hockey on Sunday nights after Frank plays in Woodridge. They play up in Gurnee.
I'm just finding a lot of you guys live up north.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. You've got Chico and Adesh. They're in what? Marengo. Eric is in Union. Dante's in, where the heck is he? Hampshire. You're up there in Deerfield. I feel like I'm one of the few that's down south.
I always thought the other way. I always thought most of the guys were south. And I
Well,
think,
you've got the South Siders too, so I shouldn't say that.
right.
There's plenty of those folks. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I would
I
trade
don't know.
my geography for yours, especially given how close you are to Woodridge. I mean, what is that, like a 5-minute drive?
Well, it makes up for, I got to go 45 minutes or so up to Palatine, so.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Friday hockey. I'm trying to think if, I think there were some, okay, so like last Friday, your goaltender on the 9-inch males, Art Carpenter, apparently stood out and starred in the Friday night game. That's what I heard. I didn't hear much about it. I didn't play. So apparently some different people going up there for Friday nights.
Well, listen, I'm a big believer in Art. I mean, he's a good goalie, and I think whatever venue you put him in, I think he's coming out of the shadows, and he's going to be really making a name for himself in the Chicago ball hockey world.
He challenges you. He comes out and he doesn't stay back in his net. So I kind of like that, even though it leaves some goaltenders vulnerable to backdoor play or whatever. But he's aggressive. I kind of like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Dominic Hasek. That aggressive, unorthodox style, But Dominic Hasek, man, he got results. The Dominator.
And Kevin Adams had a big win for us on Sunday.
Oh, good.
Woodridge.
He must have felt great about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good for Kevin. I mean, he's been in the Woodridge ball hockey scene for a while. There's some really nice pictures of him with his mohawk.
Oh, gee.
What else do we have to cover here? Anything else?
I don't think so. That's about it. I think people are probably checking out right now.
Well, yeah, it's a weeknight. We wanted to keep the momentum going, get our show going.
You got any thoughts on Sunday? If Sunday comes to fruition, if the weather holds and there's hockey, how are you feeling about your team's chances of getting it done? Somebody asked me an interesting question last night. Let's say it's your team. Let's say you advance to the finals with 0 losses, right?
Yeah.
And you lose. Is there an immediate second game because you got to lose 2 times so do you get 2 cracks at it or no?
I think that's a question probably better geared to Frank or Eric, but I would say if you're in the finals and you're like, what is it, 5-0 to get to the finals or 6-0?
Right.
I think you lose the finals. I think you're out. But there's got to be something in it for Frank and Eric. If you're listening out there, there's got to be something awarded to the 9-inch males for their particular performance in this tournament. And I'm going to say, you asked me, I was going to close the show with something along the lines of go 9-inch males, man. I'm telling you, this Sunday, everyone's going to have to look out for us. I mean, we're the underdog, and we're going to continue to be the underdog. We're going to clutch and grab, and we're going to claw at everything we can to get our wins because no one expected us to be this good, and we're going to continue to surprise.
There you have it.
Yeah.
I have it under good authority that the games will be refereed by Sam and Ron Coletta Sr.
Oh.
Obviously, Ron wouldn't be able to ref the game he plays in, which is against you guys. But the other games, he's going to be. Apparently, there would be 2 officials out there.
Is that a conflict of interest, though? Like Sam's not playing in the tournament. That's a different story. But Ron Sr., he's playing in the tournament. I mean, I think he's a great ref. He refed actually for us in the Masters. He refed the Masters tournament a few years ago when Frank had brought us all to Philly, and Coletta Sr. actually put on a ref shirt and he refed already. He's a good ref. He knows what he's doing out there. I think Lou's a good ref too. I've seen Lou ref as well. He does a nice job.
That the Coletta family, it's a family of refs.
Oh, really?
Ron's dad, Ronnie Sr., a.k.a. the Fishman, was he reffed many of our games back in the, let's say the late 80s into the 90s.
You're talking about Ron's dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about Ron Sr.'s father.
Yeah.
Right?
I know who you're talking about because I used to play in, the Chicago City, Windy City Fieldhouse. I used to play in there, and the referee was Ron Sr.'s dad and Joe Coletta, which is Ron Sr.'s brother. They father and son refed together.
Yeah, well, like I said, and I think one of Ronnie's other brothers refs hockey too. I can't remember. The Coletta clan they're kind of like the Sutters of ball hockey. There's about 5 or 6 of them, and they've all played and refed. So that's kind of a cool legacy.
That's cool. I think we'll let it go. I don't think he'll let his partiality towards the Goblin Sharks get in the way of his objectivity. So,
I'll be there as an interested observer. I might have to fact check him or something. We'll see.
And maybe you should be the one reffing.
We'll see.
Were you able to convince Eric to put you on a roster?
Oh, I didn't push that. That's not fair.
Right.
Unless somebody really needs a body.
Right.
I'm not going to do that.
Well, listen, Stomps, this was a great episode 10 of the Neutral Zone. For those of you who tuned in on Facebook Live, thank you. You joined us here with Stomps and I on the Neutral Zone. We will be not only keeping this on Facebook Live, but we'll be uploading it to the YouTube channel. And Stomps will be sharing it with the Hockey Monsters community, as well as whoever we have on our distribution list for text. You'll get the YouTube video. So please like and subscribe and hit the little bell notification every time you watch a video or you come to the page. If we need a multimedia person for anyone out there that knows someone.
It pays well.
Don't forget to take your vitamin D, everybody. Have a great night.
Yeah, take care. Be well, everyone.
Be well.